You are the master of your fate. Let's begin. I'm going to tell you a story about a disease. It is an unseen disease. It has no physical symptoms, yet it plagues the minds of millions. It can be present even in a crowded room. It is the disease of modern loneliness, and you likely feel it. I know you do. It's the feeling of having a million connections, yet not a single friend you can count on. It's the feeling of talking to 1,000 people but never being heard. And it's the feeling of chasing something you can't even name. I came to this world to share the principles of success. But what good is all the success in the world if you're isolated at the top? In this lesson, I'll show you why loneliness is not a personal failure, but a strategic problem. I'll reveal the one principle I've seen in every great achiever that guarantees true connection. And before we are through, I'll give you a blueprint to build the kind of relationships that will carry you through any storm and lift you to any height. The world may be filled with distractions, but you are about to discover how to find your true tribe. The more connected we are, the more alone we feel. This is a new paradox in the modern world. You have a device in your hand that can instantly connect you to a million people. And yet, I have never seen so many men and women who feel so profoundly disconnected. They have 1,000 friends, but not one person they can call for help in the dead of night. They can broadcast their every thought, but find no one to truly listen. I saw this same principle at work even in my own time. The technology was different, but the human heart is the same. I watched men and women build grand empires and great fortunes, only to find themselves isolated, surrounded by people who wanted something from them, but not a single soul who wanted something for them. The difference between a friend and a genuine ally is this. A friend will like your post. An ally will show up at your door. A friend will give you advice. An ally will help you build. A friend will celebrate your success, but an ally will stay with you in the trenches. The problem then is not the number of connections you have. It is the quality of those connections. And quality is not found by chance. It is built by design. Loneliness is solved not with more friends, but with a definite purpose. I will be clear, what I am about to tell you is not some new age idea. It is a time-tested principle, and I have seen it at work in the lives of the most successful men and women this world has ever known. It is the principle of the mastermind. Many of you have heard the word before, but you have likely misunderstood it. It is not about networking. It is not a social club. It is a harmonious alignment of two or more minds toward a definite purpose. It is a spiritual force, a mental alliance. It is a group of people bound together by a single vision, working in a spirit of absolute harmony. And in my studies, I found that no great success was ever achieved without it. Look at the history of this country. I studied the great men who built it, the Carnegies, the Fords, the Edisons. You will find that none of them built alone. They had their inner circles, their mastermind groups. When Andrew Carnegie brought together men like Charles Schwab, it wasn't to be social. They weren't there to chat. They were there to build. They were there to solve problems that no single man could solve alone. And in the process of building a steel empire, they forged bonds of trust and loyalty that lasted a lifetime. This is the radical truth you must accept. True connection is a byproduct of a shared, worthy purpose. When you're working towards something meaningful with others, your ego fades. Your defenses drop. You are no longer thinking about how you look or what you should say. You are thinking about the goal. And in that pure focus, you become a partner, an ally, a true human being. This is the secret. You cannot find your tribe until you have a purpose worth building together. Your tribe is not found. It is forged. The world will tell you that you need to be popular, that you need a large network. I tell you the opposite. You need a small, loyal circle of allies, a group you can trust, not with your secrets, but with your dreams. So, how do you find these people? You will not find them at social functions or networking events where everyone is trying to get something from one another. You will find them where people are doing the work. You will find them in the quiet corners of the world where ambition is not a performance, but a principle. Here are the qualities you must look for. I want you to listen carefully, for this is the blueprint. First, they must possess a definite purpose of their own. They must be working toward something meaningful. A person without ambition is not a suitable partner for a mastermind. Second, you must have a spirit of absolute harmony. This does not mean you will always agree. On the contrary, disagreement is necessary for growth. but it means that when you disagree, you do so with respect, with the shared goal always in mind. Third, you must possess complementary skills. You do not need a copy of yourself. That is a waste of energy. You need someone who is strong where you are weak and weak where you are strong. I want you to try something. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to see yourself as a leader, not just of yourself, but of a small, powerful group. I want you to see the faces of the people you want by your side. Now, do not think of their names. Think of their qualities. Is one of them a master of strategy, a person who can see 10 moves ahead? Is another a master of execution, someone who can turn an idea into a reality? Is there a third who is a master of creativity, a person who can see a problem from an entirely new angle? When you can see these qualities, you can find the person. This is not a vague exercise. It is a mental blueprint. When you clarify what you seek, your subconscious mind goes to work to help you find it. You will suddenly start to see these people where you never saw them before, because they were always there. You just weren't looking for them. You cannot get what you will not first give. This is not a New Age concept. This is a law. It is as reliable as the rising sun. I have seen it work in every life I have ever studied. The man who gives nothing receives nothing. The man who gives value, who gives wisdom, who gives effort without expecting an immediate return, finds himself surrounded by people who are eager to help him. I will tell you a story. I knew a man who hoarded his ideas. He believed that if he shared his ambitions, someone would steal them. He feared his work would be taken, his purpose would be compromised, and his success would be diluted. He was a brilliant man, but he lived in a world of scarcity. He died lonely, surrounded by the work of his own hands, but with no one to share it with. But I also knew a man who was the opposite. He was not as brilliant, but he was generous. He freely gave his time, his knowledge, and his insights. He would sit with a young inventor for an hour, helping him refine a blueprint. He would introduce two people he believed could help each other without asking for anything in return. He understood that value is not a finite resource. It is a renewable one. He gave without a second thought, and in return he found himself with a network of men who would walk through fire for him. You must understand this. The world is filled with people who want to take. They want to extract value. They want to get from you. You must become the person who gives. So, I will give you a plan. When you go into any room, whether it be a business meeting or a social gathering, do not ask yourself, what can I get from this person? Ask yourself, what value can I give? Can you offer a piece of advice? Can you listen to them? Can you connect them with someone in your network? This is a strategic act of generosity. It is not about being a doormat. It is about understanding that you cannot fill your own well until you first pour water for another. The connections you desire will not form until you demonstrate that you are a well, not just a bucket. Your strength is in your vulnerability, not your mask. This may seem to be in conflict with the principles I have given you before, but it is not. A man must be a stone to build, but he must also be a spring to give life. The mask you wear to appear successful or perfect is a barrier. It keeps you safe, but it also keeps you isolated. No one can connect with a perfect, flawless statue. I learned from my studies that people are attracted to confidence, but they are connected by vulnerability. Confidence says, I know what I am doing. Vulnerability says, I am human, just like you. Confidence gives people a reason to admire you. Vulnerability gives them a reason to trust you. There is an important distinction to be made. I am not telling you to spill your deepest, most painful secrets to a stranger. This is not about a public display of weakness. It is a strategic act of human connection. It is the simple act of letting another person see a small crack in the armor. It is a calculated risk that says, I am willing to be seen for who I am. I want you to consider a simple test. When you are speaking with another person, are they truly listening, or are they simply waiting for their turn to speak? A person who is just waiting is not interested in you. They are interested in themselves. But a person who listens is offering a small piece of their own vulnerability. They are giving you their attention. So here is a challenge for you. The next time you are in a conversation, do not try to impress. Do not try to prove your worth. Instead, share a small, non-obvious piece of your struggle or ambition with one person you trust. not the obvious failures, but the small, human ones. It could be a simple admission that you are nervous about a project or that you are still learning a skill. You will find that this small act of vulnerability will not make you look weak. It will make you look real. And in doing so, you will invite the other person to do the same. This is how a true bond is formed, not by presenting a perfect front, but by revealing a shared humanity. The anxious mind is an idle mind. I have found in my studies that much of what people call social anxiety is simply a lack of purpose. When you are focused on what you want to do, you have no time to worry about what others think. You see, a person who enters a room with no purpose for being there becomes a consumer. They are there to see if they are liked. They are there to get approval. They are there to wait for an invitation. And so, they are constantly consumed with worry and fear. They worry about what others think of them. They fear being judged. They are a bucket, and they are hoping someone will fill them. Now, contrast this with a person who enters a room with a definite purpose. They are a creator of value. They are not thinking, does this person like me? They are thinking, how can I help this person? What value can I bring? They are not a bucket waiting to be filled. They are a well, and they are looking for someone to pour water for. This person has no time for fear or anxiety. Their mind is occupied with their purpose. They have no time to be concerned with what others think, because they are too busy being concerned with what they can create. The greatest cure for fear is action. So here is a challenge for you. Before you enter any social situation, take a moment. Do not think about what you are going to say. Do not think about what you are going to wear. Think about your purpose. What is your goal? What value can you bring? How can you help? This simple act of reorienting your mind from a consumer to a creator will change the way you interact with the world. You will no longer be a victim of your own anxiety. You will be a leader of your own purpose. And as you do so, you will find that the world will begin to respond to you in kind. Your mind is either your prison or your greatest ally. The master key to all of my principles, to every bit of advice I've ever given, is the power of the subconscious mind. It is a servant. It works tirelessly day and night to fulfill the dominant thoughts that occupy your mind. It does not judge. It does not question. It simply acts. If you occupy your mind with the thought that you are unlovable, that you are destined to be alone, your subconscious mind will get to work. It will find evidence to prove this belief to be true. It will make you act in ways that push people away. It will interpret neutral comments as personal slights. It will convince you that isolation is your inevitable fate. But the opposite is also true. If you plant the seed that you are worthy of deep connection, that you are a valuable and desirable ally, your subconscious mind will get to work on that too. It will help you see opportunities for connection where you never saw them before. It will guide your words and actions in ways that attract others to you. It will help you find your tribe. This is not magic. This is a law. It is the law of cause and effect. The cause is your dominant thought. The effect is your reality. So here's a practical exercise for you. Every night before you go to sleep, I want you to repeat this simple phrase, not as a hope, but as a truth. Say it with feeling. I am a magnet for people who are in a spirit of harmony with my purpose. I attract people who are worthy of my trust and who will help me build a life of purpose, power, and connection. Repeat this until you feel it in your bones. Repeat it until it becomes a part of your being. This is how you begin to program your subconscious mind for connection, not for isolation. This is how you begin to unlock the master key to your own happiness. The road to success is a lonely one, but you do not have to walk it alone. I have given you a series of principles, not as vague ideas, but as a practical blueprint for building the kind of relationships that will define your life. Loneliness is not a personal failure. It is a strategic problem that can be solved with a definite plan. You cannot find your tribe. You must build it. You must become the kind of person who gives value. You must learn to be vulnerable, to lead with purpose, and to program your mind for success. Do not wait for others to seek you out. Do not wait for an invitation. The world is filled with people who are hungry for genuine connection. You now have the wisdom and the tools to find them. The journey of success is long, and the path can be difficult, but with the right allies, with a definite purpose, and with a spirit of absolute harmony, you will not only reach your destination, but you will find a tribe to help you get there. Key takeaways and action steps. Your blueprint for connection. Loneliness is a strategic problem, not a personal failing. The cure is not in more friends, but in a definite purpose. True connection is a byproduct of building something meaningful together. Your tribe is forged, not found. Seek out people with a definite purpose, a spirit of harmony, and complementary skills. They are not the most popular or well-connected, but the most ambitious and trustworthy. You must give what you wish to receive. The world is filled with people who want to take. Become a well, not just a bucket. Give value, wisdom, and effort without expectation of an immediate return. Vulnerability is a strategic act of connection. Do not hide behind a mask of perfection. Reveal a small, human part of yourself to a trusted ally to invite a deeper bond. Anxiety is an idle mind. The greatest cure for social fear is a definite purpose. Reorient your mind from being a consumer of attention to a creator of value. Your action plan for today. Assignment 1. Identify one person you admire who possesses a quality or skill you desire. Reach out to them with a specific question about how they achieved it. Do not ask for anything else. This is a practice in giving value. Assignment 2. Take out a pen and paper. Write down your definite purpose for a new relationship you want to build. What is your goal for this connection? What value can you give? Assignment 3. Choose one person from your existing network. Reach out to them with a simple text or message saying, "I was thinking of you. Is there anything I can help you with today?" This simple gesture will begin to build a new kind of connection. Remember, your success begins the moment you decide to act.